Hello students, welcome to Shorapsa's classes. So in today's video, we'll be solving a question from economics. So in this video, we'll be solving a question. So first of all, I will simply read out the question. In this question, it is given, consider an agent who values consumption in period 0 and 1 according to the utility function given as utility C0 C1. So as you can see, the utility function is given by u C0 C1 log C0 plus delta log C1. Now here small delta basically lies between 0 to 1. Now suppose that the agent has a wealth small w in period 0 of which she can save any portion in order to consume in period 1. Now if she saves rupees 1, she is paid interest r, so that her budget constant is given by C0 plus C1 by 1 plus small r equals to W. So her budget constant is given by this. Now we have to derive the agent's demand for C0 and C1 as a function of R and W. So we have to first of all derive the agent demand for C1 and C0 and C1 as a function of R, which is interest rate, and W is wealth. And what happens to C0 and C1 as R increases? So we have to find what happens to C0 and C1 as cap small r increases. We have to interpret it, and finally what we have to do is, for what relationship between small w and small r will she consume the same amount in both periods? So in what amount of small w and small r will she consume the same amount in both the periods? So we have to find out these three questions. So for this, first we'll start with question number 1. So allow me to insert a new page for this question. So in this question, first of all, we'll simply write down, that is, if you go back to the question once, what we had to do is, we first of all had to find the agent's demand for C0 and C1 as a function of small r and small w. For this we can simply solve it here. It will be, the agent demand function will be C0. From here it will be C0 equals to W by 1 plus delta. So agent's consumption function, agent's demand function for C0 will be what? So how do we find it? For this we can simply find C0. Now from here we can simply find the agent's function will be C0 equals to W by 1 plus delta, and the next one, the demand function of C1 will be W into 1 plus R delta divided by 1 plus delta. So how do we find it? For this, say for an example, here if you write C1 not plus C1 by 1 plus R equals to W, here when we are measuring C0, say we assume it to be so it will be C0 1 plus R, and from here it will be C1 equals to W. So now basically here C1 becomes 0 and this will become like this. So C0 will be W, and from here what we can find, that it will be divided by 1 plus lambda. So the value of C0 we have found to be this, and the value of C1 will be, the demand function will be like this. Now here we can also find what happens to C0 and C1 as R increases. We have to interpret, as you can see, when R increases, C0 has no factor of R, so C0 remains constant. But here in this case, when R increases, what happens? This entire term basically increases, so W increases. So when numerator increases, we know C1 also increases. So when numerator increases, the C1 also increases, and this is quite clear from this answer. So the option 2 will be, as R increases, C0 remains same, but C1 increases. And finally, if we come to the last question, for what relationship between W and small r will she consume this same amount in both periods? So we have to find same amount basically means what? Same amount basically means C0 equals to C1. So C0 equals to C1 is what? The same amount in both periods if she consume. So when will it happen? When 1 plus R into delta is equals to 1. So when 1 plus R into delta is equals to 1, what happens when 1 plus R into delta is equals to 1? She will consume the same amount in both periods. Why? Because when this is equals to 1, as you can see, we are only left with W by 1 plus delta. So our job is to find this one, which is equation 1. All we have to do, we have to find out the agent's demand function. That is, we have to find C1, C0 and C1. Once we have the demand function in our hand, we can simply interpret the last two questions. So I hope you guys have understood the question. If you still have any query or doubt, or if you want to know more about this kind of question, you can simply WhatsApp me on this number, which is 9836793076, or you can also go to our website, which is www. showropsearchclasses.com. There you will find a lot of other videos like this, and you will also get to see a lot of other materials which are needed for different entrance exam. So I hope you guys have understood it and enjoyed it. So keep watching. If you have any query or doubt, you can WhatsApp me at any time. So have a nice day ahead.